So the next set of shapes we're going to look at are, I call them pointy things, because honestly, that's really what they are. The shapes that you could think of that kind of come to a peak or a point at the top, that's what we're looking at. So a lot of this stuff that we're going to do is going to carry over from the prisms. It's just you make a slight adjustment to your formula because it's like a pyramid is a rectangular prism, but it comes up to a peak. So how do we adjust the basic idea of volume from a rectangular prism to create that pyramid? Okay, so this is exactly what I'm talking about. These are basically the same shape. I've got a base that is 5 meters by 11 meters, and they're both 10 meters tall. The only difference is like pieces of that rectangular prism have kind of been shaved off to create the pyramid. So if you think of the one on the left here as being like a solid block of wood, and we come across with a couple of chainsaws and shave it down, we create this pyramid. The way that these volumes are related is that the pointy shape is literally 1/3 the volume of the bigger prism. Okay, the prisms are going to be bigger shapes, and the pyramids, we can do this primarily the same way. This, like on the what I mean by that. So my prism here, I would take the base, which is 5 by 11, and then I would multiply that by 10 to get my volume there. So this has a volume of 550 cubic meters. The pyramid that has the same base and the same height, I could do the same thing. I'm going to take my base, 5 by 11, and times my height, and then times my height of 10. And then at the end of it, I'm going to just take that and cut it down to 1/3. So simple for you guys, you just need to divide by 3. All right, if you want to use a fraction, you can multiply it by 1/3, but for probably all of us, it would be just as easy or easier actually to divide by 3. So I've got my 5 by 11 by 10, and I'm going to divide that by 3. This thing has a volume of 183.3 repeating. If you want to put the bar on top of it, you can, or just round it off, cubic meters. Okay, 183.3 cubic meters. So basically, find the volume of the rectangular prism and divide it by 3. It's a little confusing because when we did surface area and we talk about area of a rectangle, area of a triangle, we cut it in half, but this shape is 1/3. All right, so for most of these, you take your base. Sometimes it's a square, sometimes it's a rectangle, and then you multiply that by the height. And then at the end, once you've done that, divide by 3. And you should be able to type this straight in. 6 times 6 times 7 divided by 3 is 84 even cubic kilometers. And then the last one here, I've got a volume. The base is 9 by 4. The height is 7. And I'm going to divide that by 3 when I'm done. 84 again. Wow, weird. Total coincidence. But so base times the area of the base, so the rectangle or the triangle or square, or sorry, rectangle or square, whatever the base is, times how tall it is, and then you divide it by 3. I think I might have a couple more examples here if you wanted to see them. Otherwise, your assignment's posted if you wanted to get on that. So this one has a volume of 11 by 11 by 11, and then divide by 3 at the end. So this one has a combined volume of 443.7 cubic kilometers. Be careful on these with your units. They are cubed. Make sure you're rounding, all of that fun stuff. You will get a decimal on a lot of these because you're dividing by 3. All right, last one, 3 by 6, and has a height of 4. So that is, and then at the end, divide by 3. 24 cubic inches. All right, it's not hard. I told you guys when we started, this volume is so much easier than surface area. Just kind of like in the progression, though, I think that surface area needs to come first. So it should be a nice way to finish out the last couple of weeks.